watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
Ready, wins.
Good evening, folks. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Just want to come on quickly, follow up on today's podcast in regards to nepotism. Good evening, folks. What's going on here with the Yonkers Tribune? Anyone's trying going on the Yonkers Tribune today? Anybody know why the Yonkers Tribune? Oh, there it goes. It was giving me this for a while. There it goes. I was going on the, I wanted to go on the Yonkers Tribune and also the Yonkers Times to see if they were picking up on the story that Low HUD and the New York Post put out. I didn't see anything. Nothing on the Yonkers Tribune. Well, I just got on it really, but no. I would think that'd be right there, front page, right? So I want to make a point. Who do we trust in terms of getting your news, your information from? Sure, if they copy an article from another source, you can believe that, right? Whatever, I guess. But when it comes to local politics, can you really trust these outlets? And I'm not getting on Hezi Harris. I know the man has health, he's dealing with some health issues. It's not about him. It's not. And I wish you the best, Hezi. I truly do. I'm just saying, if you are a source of news and information for the people of Yonkers, why aren't you covering this, or whoever else, administers your page? The Yonkers Times, same thing. What is their trending now? Front page, judge rules that term limit extension passed by Yonkers City Council and signed by mayor is lawful. So they want you to focus on this, and David Tubiolo, of course, there, young, handsome guy that he is. But they don't have anything in regards to these, to the nepotism article or story that was written by Low HUD and New York Post. Nothing. So again, this is the official, I guess, source, Yonkers Rising newspaper of the city of Yonkers, which is also Yonkers Times. So I would imagine they wouldn't want him to put that up there. But how can we trust it? How can we believe in, this source if they are unwilling to provide all the information, all the news, everything that's happening here in the city of Yonkers? One source that stepped onto the scene very recently isn't afraid. That's the Yonkers Ledger. They're not afraid to expose what needs to be exposed. So make sure you share, let everyone know if you want to get the truth about Yonkers politics, Westchester County politics. You want to get honest reporting, unbiased reporting. Check out the Yonkers Ledger. He's doing a good job there, marking these folks that are, part of the Yonkers Ledger. So shout out to you guys. So yeah, I wanted to discuss that, the nepotism thing, just bring that back up. What do you guys think? Is it going to hurt the mayor? Is it going to hurt his chances of winning? Is it going to impact him in the primary? Do you think this gives Corazon Pineda Isaac a better chance at beating Spano? Do you think the FBI are going to swoop into the city of Yonkers and arrest a bunch of people? Right? Maybe Tasha Diaz. Listen, it's there if they want to, and I've heard that, maybe Nick Spano may be asking for favors to look into certain people, private citizens, and again, these are just things that I'm hearing out there. I don't know how true it is, but I like to put it out there anyway. Is it true, right? Is that why they are not here in the city of Yonkers really investigating? Is there some connection? And I also heard from a source, an old timer source, that maybe Nick Spano has something to do with helping out with the conviction or whatever happened. And I don't really know too much about it, but the RXR Realty, they did that development over there on Warburton and Main Street, or what is over there by the library, the DMV. And there was some involvement with organized crime, and some arrests were made and people were charged and stuff. So some saying maybe that's why he's not being investigated, why they lay off and allow things to continue here in the city of Yonkers. Who knows? I mean, there's a lot of information out there. I think now that some investigation should be warranted, right? At least by the Yonkers Inspector General, right? Liam McLaughlin, who's supposed to investigate that stuff. And if you read the article written by Phil Zeisman on the Yonkers Ledger, or in the Yonkers Ledger, he talks about that, and he says, there should be investigations into the nepotism and the hiring of all these family members, and what impact does that have on the city. And at the very least, it impacts the people's trust in our government, right? We that overall perception of the trust, right, of that something is going on is there, and so that in itself is enough to maybe say, hey, we don't need to vote for Mayor Mike Spano for a fourth term, which in itself is crazy. The people not choosing the term extension, all right, for the fourth term or the third term. So, that right there is suspect, conflict of interest. And who was it that introduced that legislation? Well, Lakeisha Collins Bellamy, a city council president, who thanked the mayor for her win against Mike Cater. And she thanked him for appointing her to the board of trustee prior to becoming city council president. She thanked him for pretty much guiding her career and believing in her and giving her these opportunities. So what do you think she's going to do in return for the mayor? I mean, he's there having some coffee or whatever and talking and say, hey, Lakeisha, I'm interested in possibly running again. They would, need to introduce legislation to extend the term limits. That'd be nice if one of you nice council members would do so. And so here you are, and she's introducing it all by herself. And why was it all by herself? Why didn't Mike Breen once again sign it like he did for the third term when Michael Sabatino was around, right? And why didn't Tasha Diaz sign it? Maybe she's a little too hot already, right? And or Shanae Williams or John Rubo, or obviously Anthony Moranti wasn't going to sign, and obviously Corazon is not going to sign that. So these are things that need to be questioned and investigated. And I mean, I received an email from an anonymous person questioning the letter written by the Mexican Chamber of Commerce to the city council, asking for them to introduce legislation for a fourth term, right? And they were strong-armed, according to the email, into doing so because the city of Yonkers presented them with a $30,000 bill for the Mexican Independence Festival, and they weren't expecting that. They were told that they would have police there for free as a gift from the city, but apparently that was not true. And so, because they could not come up with the money, the other alternative was that they wrote a letter to the city council in support of legislation for a fourth term. And so you put it on the Latinos, right? It's the Latinos' fault. The Latinos did it, right? They did that. Hispanos for Spanos did it, right? And so, and to all this, Hispanics, Latinos lately, especially after seeing what happened last Friday and are upset about it, you got to, consider those who are registered to vote. And if you're not, and you need to register. Those who are registered to vote need to go out and vote. This is how you at least get some kind of justice if nothing is done to, the woman who is the executive director, Jessica Gordon, of the South Broadway bid. And like she said herself, you have to vote for the people that will fix the sidewalks, right? So you have to come out and vote for change this year. It's this June, right? So they're going to get a lot of Latinos. And this is, I'm ashamed of the Latino leaders to influence Latinos to vote for the administration, the incumbent, Mike Spano. But Latinos need to come out and vote for change. We need to vote for change. There is an option there. And I'm not talking about me, Freddie Vasquez. All right. There is an option there this June. in the June primaries. It's time we start to think and consider and say, hey, listen, maybe we don't always see eye to eye on certain things, right? And maybe we have some questions of certain things, the way they were done in the past, but we need change. And we're hoping that you will be that change, right? So we'll give you the benefit of the doubt and we'll give you support. And so I think that we need to really think about this June, who are we going to vote for? And it's important that we come out and vote. We need change. This cannot continue for another 4 years. So that's what I want to get out there and talk about. You see this nepotism article here in the Post, and that's just the individuals that they can actually identify. There are more individuals. There are still certain individuals that are still looking, finding more. They've reached out to me for a list that I provided list of individuals that I know from my own research that I've done, and I've been able to help. I believe I've been able to give additional names, and there's a lot, and that impacts the city of Yonkers economically. It's a lot of jobs that other individuals are not able to get, right? And that leaves other people seeking jobs, unemployed, unable to get these jobs that pay $200,000 a year, right? And have good health benefits and pension. So a large segment of our community, specifically the Black and Latino, Hispanic community, have remained impoverished. And so while you have certain Latino leaders pushing you to vote for the same old, we have to think, is that what we really want? Has that worked out for us in the past? And so we need change. And to the Latino leaders, people that are well known, like, Roberto from La Piñata, and Alfonso for Dos Marias and others. And I don't want to pick on you two guys. I mentioned you guys a lot, but other Latino business owners here who have influence, who attend these events. I mean, it's time to, got to have some cojones. Some of you are scared. I know. I can tell. I've seen it in your face. You're scared to go against this administration, and that's the problem. That's the problem. We shouldn't live under this constant fear, especially if you are a business owner. I know some people that don't want to get involved. I'm, trying to open this up, or I'm doing this now, and I'm trying to get permits and things like that. And I don't want to, say anything, but, and I get it. I get it to one extent, and, and another to somebody that I'm going full steam ahead, and I have a business here. We have to stand up at some point, and we have to commit. We have to commit to change. Otherwise, we'll never see that change. And many people want that change. And I know there are individuals out there that are commenting and, creating the fake posts are back, and they're saying silly things. And, these people they hide behind fake posts because they know the things that they are saying is embarrassing to them. That's what you have to do in order to maintain your livelihood. You have to create a fake account and attack people that you don't even know, that you've never met. Because if a new administration comes in, you may not have a job anymore, a job that you were never qualified to have to begin with. That's on you. Bribery for votes, extortion is all around when corruption rules. City of Hills, where nothing is on the level. The nepotism in this city is borderline criminal. It could be criminal. It's not about race. It's about qualification for jobs, Freddie. No, I definitely know it's not about race. And what I'm saying, and I'm just speaking to, a segment of the population that they say often doesn't vote, right? They say Latinos don't come out to vote, right? They say Blacks don't come out to vote enough. Well, they actually say Blacks come out more, right, than Latinos. But, so that's what I'm talking about. So I'm trying to encourage a segment of the population, Latinos, to come out and vote. We are not often engaging in conversations about civics, about politics, about government, about who's, running for office and why we should or we shouldn't vote for that person. We don't think about it many times in our community, and that's detrimental to our community in many ways. And we need to, right? So it's not about race, and this is not about race. It's about just me speaking to that population specifically, because as they say, and since I've been engaged in politics, the Hispanics don't vote. They don't vote on that side of town. But, is that necessarily true? Because from what I've seen, the petitions, a lot of them came from that side of town. A lot of the people that signed were from the Southwest side, but they say they don't come out to vote. And so if that's true, then you need to come out to vote. Everyone, all races, all sides. It's not about race. We are in this together. There are many white people as well that are prevented from getting jobs, or have been retaliated on, or have been passed over on promotions because of a nepotism system that clearly exists here in the city of Yonkers. That clearly exists, and that they have tried to keep quiet, keep hidden. Right. So I want to just say that, Maeve, it's not about race. I'm just saying that I want to encourage a group that is said to not come out to vote, to come out to vote. It's important because we are in this together. And, they have an impact, right? The Latino vote, if we can get them to vote for change, we can get the blacks, the whites, all of Yonkers to vote for this change, then it will happen. So we're in this together. The impacts that are going to occur to the east side, it's predominantly white, it's not going to be something that you folks are going to really want. Think of the zoning law changes that are happening. It's going to go over there. It's going to disrupt your community. So you have to care about what's happening on the Southwest side. You have to care about who's elected as a council person in another district, because ultimately they vote on things that will impact your district. And so it matters. So we're in this together. And so I want to encourage everyone to come out and vote. Everyone, young, old, male, female, come out and vote. All races, all colors. We are one. We art one. Shout out to you. We art one. Right. We are working on this list. It is criminal. There are Spanos stuck everywhere. We even have the Spano stepkids with city jobs. Wait until the list comes out. We can't send it to Liam. His wife works for Gallagher. We will be starting on the friends list and their families next. It is coming to light. And so there's this big fallout. And this, again, is starting to really snowball. People are more encouraged to come out and speak out against it. And they are concerned. I'm hearing from insiders that they are concerned. They are concerned about us talking. So they're really trying to keep people quiet as best as possible, keep people away from, basement politics and other sources that are speaking out. They are concerned about it. They are concerned about this. So they may downplay it in the media, but they're definitely concerned. They know what's been happening for a far too long now. They've been, corrupt. It's just simply a way to put it. They've been corrupt. Many of our elected officials are compromised. We can't have faith in Tasha Diaz. I'm sorry. No disrespect to you, Tasha. I mean this with all due respect, all right? I don't want people to think that I'm targeting her, that I'm being personal, or that I go after women. It just so happens that the third district council person is a woman, and she's black. But she has let us down. She has let down black people just as much as she has let down white and Latinos. She has. Anyone that's in need of affordable housing, she has let down. The entire council has let down. John Rubo has let down his district, allowing for a marijuana dispensary, an illegal one, to open up blatantly on Yonkers Avenue with the marijuana leaf and everything. And he says, I got to look into it. I don't know. So how do these businesses open up? Yeah, you give a daycare center such a hard time. We need daycare centers. We don't necessarily need marijuana dispensaries. Not that I'm against them or anything. I'm just saying. But you gave Freddie Vasquez the hardest time and didn't want to pay this man. But you allowed this dispensary to open. No problem. They got the neon lights and everything. No one seemed to notice. Right? So that's all a bunch of BS. Right? We cannot trust them anymore. Shanae Williams has let down District 1 completely. How many people have been kicked out of that district, pushed out, priced out? All the developments, the people who own homes in that district that are fighting the developments that are being built literally across the street, less than 100 feet away from the front of their home. Businesses being forced closed because the studio or some developer wants the lot. How many times has that happened now? And Shanae Williams, who represents that district, has done nothing. I'm helping constituents in her district currently. I am the one out there helping them because our council members are not. They're giving violations to one woman because they want her out. They want to give her such a hard time that she'll decide to sell her building to the investor that's bought all the other buildings around her. So they're making it difficult. She's reached out to Shanae. What has Shanae done? Nothing. It was a simple solution. I was able to do it quickly. And now we'll have to see if they're going to move on it. The woman is right. So move on it, Shanae. Will she? Right? So they have let us down time and time again. I can go on, many stories. People have complained. And so anyone that's talking, in support of what's been happening for the past 12 years, they are benefiting in some way. If you see them commenting on social media, remember those folks. Remember who they are. Because as Carolyn said, they're working on that friends list also. Their name just might be on that list. And that is why they're saying what they're saying. And I'm just saying that because I'm tired of the few individuals that come out. I got them on Nextdoor app, the same 2-3 individuals that comment on every post. These are individuals that they send out to do this. This is like a part of their job. It's a part of your job description. If you get a job with the city, you have to attack people who oppose the administration. Create a fake Facebook account. Call CPS on them. Even if it's your family member, it doesn't matter. You work for the city, we're your family now. We gave you the job, right? That's how it is. All the Yonkers politicians have consistently let us down across all districts. Lies, lies, and more lies. Their worst nightmare is social media to inform and educate people about what is going on. Absolutely. And that's why they try to control it for far too long now with Ruros and the Yonkers Newswire and all the other, would-be news outlets that, have sprung up over the years. And you can see the changes in them. One minute they start, speaking out about what's going on here, being somewhat honest and transparent. And next thing you know, nothing. Crickets. All they're talking about is how great the administration is how great our elected officials are. It's how great Tasha Diaz is. And she does so much because she can attach her name to a food drive. Isn't that incredible? I mean, we have to reelect her. Who else would attach their name to a food drive so well, right? So that's all they put out there. Are they putting out this article on the nepotism? Is Ruros talking about it? Ruros wasn't out there showing the protesters. No, he engaged them to argue with them. That's all he did. He makes money with them. He makes about 30-some thousand a year from the city and the elected officials. They pay him $900 to $1,200 an interview. And they don't care that he's a convicted pedophile. And then there's the Yonkers Newswire, a guy that they use to write the most disgusting things. They keep their distance from him. Plausible deniability. They don't connect themselves with him. But what he does is he puts out these messages on people, negative lies. And he pumps them out. And then you get the little cronies to comment. Same people, and it's like they have conversations among themselves, calling others crazy. But if you just watch them on the page, who are the crazy ones? And this is true. Elected officials pay these people to do this. That is why I've talked about it. And so they've controlled the media, they've controlled the information that's been put out there. And so when Basement Politics started, and I started putting out this information, that is why they targeted me so hard, because I would not be compromised. They tried. They brought me up to City Hall. I met with the mayor's brother. I met with the deputy mayor, and they offered me advertisement. $75 an ad, Freddie. You should take them. No, it's not what I'm here for. I'm not looking to make $1. The people need to know this information. That's what's important. And that's what I've done ever since. And I've maintained that. Right? And that's what it's about. And that's why we are here in large part because of Basement Politics and then others who began to support and began to speak out, seeing that this is going to be the way we do it. Social media. Absolutely. Absolutely. I've been hearing that something big would be coming about the Spanos, but I have to say that was a little disappointed with this article. Appointing as many relatives to city positions, the least of the Spanos' misdeeds. And you're right. That's probably some of the least of the misdeeds, I guess. But there's more information coming out. I think this time is different. I think people are not as afraid anymore. I think, again, with social media, they've gotten older now. They've worn out. Look at the mayor. He doesn't look like he's in the best of health. I'm sure he's not really the one that's pushing to do this. A lot of people say it's Nick Spano and all the other members who have jobs and want to maintain that job, and all the other, minions, as I call them, or friends that have jobs that want to make sure that they keep those jobs, and they're pushing for this, right? So the mayor's doing what he has to do, but he's tired, he's worn out. You can see it in his eyes. He's got big bags under his eyes. He tried to do this whole health thing to show people in the gym, but he's done. He's ready to retire, and I almost feel bad for the guy, and people do kind of feel bad that he's being forced to do this. But yeah, there's a lot of things that that they've done, that I'm sure. I mean, with the zoning laws right there, and the zoning changes that they have been doing all across the city of Yonkers. That right there is something that they're going to be investigating, if they're not already investigating. And that's something that has gotten developers and council members arrested and sent to jail in other cities in recent years, from Los Angeles to Cincinnati to Dallas and maybe Yonkers, right? I mean, illegally changing all these zoning laws just to do whatever these developers want to do, putting buildings in areas that it doesn't make sense, doing it backwards. Instead of going through the planning first, then to the zoning, they're going from zoning. Zoning really comes up with the plan, and they tell the planning board what's going to happen, and they just have to go with it. Because the guys at the planning, Lou Albano, seem like good guys. But that Wilson Kimbo over at the zoning board, yeah. She was already investigated by the New York State Inspector General with her husband, James Kavanaugh, former deputy mayor of the city of Yonkers, current president of the Yonkers Industrial Development Agency. They give the tax breaks to the developers. Wilson Kimball changes the zoning laws to assure that the developers can do their project. It's all a racket. So you're right. It's a real estate racket going on. How many properties did they buy up before this started? Because they knew this was going to happen. How many properties they bought via tax lien that they were supposed to announce publicly to allow others the opportunity to buy the properties, and they never did. And they didn't bought them for peanuts, pennies on the dollar. How many properties were bought like that? People died. They didn't have a next of kin. They let the property sit, get into a tax lien situation. Then it's supposed to go up for auction, but it doesn't. They buy it. Cheap. How many properties have they bought like that? How many properties have they bought because they forced the people out? They found some kind of violations. They got them into all this trouble, and they forced them to sell. Or they just right out took the building. That's happened a lot here in Yonkers to a lot of people, especially a lot of Latino property owners. So, and they blamed it on, a lot of them on slumlords and stuff. They use these excuses, but that wasn't always true. And so there's a lot of things going on, shady things. When they go into the buildings and they condemn it in the middle of the wintertime, just before Christmas, why would they do that? Shady stuff going on. What happened at 24 Palisades not too long ago? What blew up? Why was there a gas pipe explosion over there? What is Con Ed doing? Destroying people's businesses. So yeah, you're right. There's a lot going on. Definitely a lot going on. Keep posting, Freddie. Your post on Nextdoor, that's got a wide view. Yeah, those posts are really getting a lot more views than on Facebook, actually. I'm constantly seeing a message for some of the posts within 48 hours getting over 2,000-3,000 views. So, a Nextdoor app, I should say, it's pretty a good place to promote a lot of this information, because it's really that's all I'm doing. I want people to become aware. The more people that are aware, the more people speak out, the more people start to act on it, and change will happen. And that is their biggest fear, that someone or something will come along and motivate people. And at the very least, that's what I hope that I've accomplished with Basement Politics, that I've helped motivate people and create a movement where more and more people began to speak out, and we created that change. I can't do it myself. It can't be just a few of us. It's got to be all of us. So I appreciate you folks who support. I appreciate the folks who speak out. And I really appreciate the people that give me the information. Thank you so much. I will always protect your identity. Do not let them think I'll make you think that I will expose you, because that's what they've been doing to keep people from giving me information. They say, oh, Freddie's going to expose you. No, anyone that I've ever exposed is a part of the problem. So as long as you're not part of the problem and you're not trying to hurt me, I don't have any issues with you, and I will never expose you. You will always remain anonymous. So feel free to send me the information, politicwithfred@gmail.com. Thank you for supporting, folks. I appreciate it. Have a great night. Tomorrow's Friday. The weekend's here. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for supporting and always watching. Yeah, definitely something big. I think is going to be happening. There's more things that are going to be coming out. It's just the beginning, and I think, again, this time is different. There's a lot that's been done. It's like a balloon, right? You could only put so much air in the balloon before it pops. And sometimes people get so greedy, they get so entitled, that they just put too much air in that balloon and it pops. And that's what's going to happen, right? What goes up must come down. That's what it's all about. It's all about exposing a corrupt money trail, Freddie. Politicians self-enriching themselves and their networks to the detriment of the average taxpayer. Good night and God bless. Thank you. Good night and God bless. I appreciate it. And I will be coming with more. Who is the mayor and Nick Spano engaging in that's facing racketeering charges? Ooh, why are they doing business with those guys? I don't know.
Freddie wins. Freddie.
I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered, a place where truth lives and corruption dies. Continue to share the podcast. Let everyone know there's a guy in town that's willing to speak truth. We need to vote for change. This June, Democrats, you must come out and vote in the primaries. It's a must. It's a must. You have to come out and vote. If you don't, you're part of the problem too. Whether you're involved in the corruption or not, if you don't come out to vote, you're part of the problem. That's it. Right? And don't complain. You can't complain. After this year's election, if you didn't vote, you cannot complain. Point blank, period. Have a beautiful night.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez. You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
In another one, Mr. Rumo lied to me, and I don't vote for the person that lied to me. Thank you very much. In another one, Mr. Rumo lied to me, and I don't vote for the person that lied to me. Thank you very much.
I want to end this quick because I'm greedy and I want somebody to butter chicken. So thank you. Come on, give me question.
Look, I am the bad guy.
I know you have a lot of women that work in your office. But I'm a councilwoman, so the capacity that I know you in, they may know you in a different capacity. But I'm a councilwoman, so the capacity that I know you in, they may know you. I was raised in housing. I don't think you were. I went to Yonkers Public Schools. I don't think you did. We can go on all night with this, honey.
Freddie